Hello, Newsweed. Welcome to the Living Room Podcast, where we talk about things that you talk about in your living room. Real, honest discourse. Today I have a special guest, and we'll always have a guest, but they'll never be politicians or anyone with any status. They're just real people. So my guests would like to introduce themselves.
I'm Jared. I'm Hunter's roommate, and we're here sitting in a living room.
Yeah, so today's topic is boredom. Something that we don't really pay attention to because, well, it's boring, and who wants to make note of uninteresting events in their life? However, I think it's an important part of human psychology. Most animals don't get bored because they're out in the wild, and we haven't observed real boredom, except I think we might have with primates. I have to do more research on that. But I think it's interesting because we evolved to such a point where boredom becomes a thing. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Boredom is a very, very real thing. I deal with boredom quite a lot. I usually coop myself up with not much to do to occupy my time, so I have to figure out things that things to do to alleviate that boredom.
Well, I mean, I think this boredom trend has just been furtherly enhanced, like totally enhanced by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes. You can't. Well, it's frowned upon to go outside a whole lot in this whole situation. So you really have to find, if going outdoors wasn't such an issue, boredom would not be as much of a problem now as it is.
Well, I've always said one of my things about the reason I want to go into psychology, if anyone here is aware, I attend the University of Arkansas, and I'm going to work on a psychology degree. And I want to go into social psychology. I think this opportunity is going to allow me to people who've been through this, who have stayed so much in their rooms, they have not gone out. Like Jared, I call you like a kind of a hermit and kind of don't leave your room, but at least me and you will go out to go eat, go hang out, we'll do something. But there's people that my age and maybe older, maybe younger, who will come out of this whole thing because their state's even more restrictive than ours, not knowing how to talk to people.
Yeah, and especially if you are living by yourself, that would make it even more difficult. Like having roommates or like family members that you're with to talk to definitely helps out, but it doesn't really help like conversing with strangers.
Yeah, and I think that might be something I'll have to look into. That maybe that's some kind of service I offer, help people get back into this whole thing. And I'm sure. I've even lost. I'm so scared, but I'm also have to realize, tons of other people are probably in the same position I am, so I don't think I'm really at a disadvantage. I think my natural extroversion might actually help a little bit in getting those people who are kind of like clausters. Like maybe this whole thing's been lost for so long, right? But I think maybe it'll help, and I hate to say that it's an advantage, but I just hope that some people can get back to the real world, because this basically had shattered our expectations of what the living in this world is like. 'Cause it's so different. It's so bad because I'll watch a movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, why aren't they wearing masks? It's stupid. I'm not even a mask guy. I don't really like masks. I think it's kind of ridiculous. But why the fuck am I thinking about it in a movie, right?
Yeah. It's really just kind of like taken over your mind.
It's gotten to that point. But other than that, I'm interested why boredom as a feeling exists because they've ran tests where they have like a button in a room that literally shocks you if you touch it.
And you're just left in the room and with nothing to do
except to
there's
literally
nothing
hurt
there
yourself.
except the button. And you touch the button to see what it does, it shocks you. And then after a while, you get so bored with your surroundings that you just press it again just to do something.
Like, it hurts. People get bored. It's strange because no animal would do that. I don't think.
Yeah, I think boredom comes with having consciousness.
Well, yeah, because you're aware of your surroundings, right?
Yeah,
you're constantly aware of yourself.
It's not just animal instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actively creating things to occupy your mind that is more advanced than just normal animals.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just a sign that we're evolved differently. We're different.
Mm-hmm.
So I just in terms of consciousness, I guess that's an important thing because boredom's actually considered an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it lies. Like, there's an emotion chart, and where it falls under like certain main emotional words, and boredom is under like a certain kind of something. I don't know if it's anger or depression. It's probably like a mix in between the lines of anger and depression and sadness. Because, sometimes you just tend to get aggressive and you're like, fuck, I just want something to do, right? But you're also something kind of really saddening. At least for me, when I'm like incredibly bored, I can get pretty depressed, right? I can just be like, there's nothing to do. I'm just depressed right now. It sucks, and that's how I can get sometimes. And maybe that's just how I am as a person. It's just like when I'm not around people or talking to people, I can get really. Sorry, technical difficulties. My mic just stopped working, but we're all good now. So I was just saying, I get depressed and I'm just like lonely or really, really bored. So that's just what I was going on off there. Not much further from that. You can relate to that, right?
Yeah, I get lonely pretty easily. Being cooped up in my room all day, and that gets pretty depressing pretty quickly. So I do everything I can to distract myself from that, alleviate the boredom, to alleviate the depression.
Well, yeah, I mean, the things you do to make sure we're not bored is you do quite a bit, but none of it ever seems to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't play a video game for that long. Like, I can play a video game for like maybe an hour, and then I get kind of bored with it. I'm just like, I don't want to do this. But I know a lot of people who just play forever. Like you play for a lot video games for a while, don't you?
The thing for me is that I'm not just playing video games. I'm actually usually consuming multiple different pieces of media at the same time. So like you would see me like I'm playing video games, but I'm also like maybe watching YouTube or watching like a TV show at the same time.
I don't know. See, video games are just something where I can't really split my attention.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what it is you're playing. Because some video games, you can just turn your brain off and just play it. I think Call of Duty Zombies is a good example of that. Because once you get going in the game, it's just kind of repetitive things. So it's not something that you need to actively pay attention to.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I find that's part of how I keep my mind in change. I listen to a lot of music. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I'll listen to an album, I'll go and read your music, search for you know, what's new or what I haven't listened to and what looks interesting, and I'll do that, right?
Yeah. Music isn't really something that I use for boredom alleviation. It's something that I use as like travel tunes, no matter how short that travel is.
Yeah. I listen to stuff when I'm just like on the road or on a plane or something. But
Or like walking up to campus.
yeah, I like to, but I do like to, listen to like albums just to listen to them. I think there's an art to making an album, but that's usually what I do. I mean, of course, the name of the site, I know you don't, but I'll smoke pot sometimes if I'm really bored and really depressed, and it helps. I mean that's what they've shown is pot. Smoking it helps a lot with depression, and I'm gonna go get my medical card. But, so, yeah. But you say you do something kind of similar, where you do something called opening your mind box.
My nothing box.
I don't understand that, but I'm interested.
It's just the allowing of your mind to go fully blank. There's not a single thought in your head. And I would assume, I think it's very similar to dissociation, but it's doing it willingly, on purpose. And really, you could do it for as long as you want or need. It's essential. I'd assume it's what people do while they're fishing. Opening your nothing box while fishing. You're just sitting there waiting for something to bite, and the span in between where nothing is happening, you can either occupy your brain with something, or you can occupy your brain with nothing, and then just not think until the pull of a fish brings you out of it.
Huh. See, I've never been able to just not think of anything. I'll always think of something, even if I just want to stare at the wall.
Yeah, but
I guess it's similar to meditation, which I wrote an article about.
Yeah, I think it's harder to do with an overactive or a hyperactive mind.
Well, I do have ADHD, so that's probably part of it.
That will probably hinder your ability to do something like that.
I guess that makes sense in that sort of area of my life, but I don't know. I've just never been able to do it, but I found it interesting. So I guess it's sort of similar to meditation in a sense.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I wrote an article about it. It's actually incredibly interesting. They took this guy, and this is not just okay guy, someone who just meditates every now and then. This guy is one of the greatest meditators. He knows, he's been doing it for years, all his life. He can just get into a trance-like state like that. And they put him on an EEG while he was meditating, and they asked him to meditate. And his brain would freaking light up.
Yeah.
And what it's similar to is psychedelics, like LSD and mushrooms, and it was just lighting up. And so the whole idea was that meditation is almost like a drugless high, and so they get high off of just being able to consciously or unconsciously. I don't even know how it works. It's kind of a deep idea of meditation, but it almost just activates that in the brain. I don't think they're tripping, but it's just as active, right?
Yeah. Right.
This is incredible.
I think the nothing box is kind of the exact opposite. Where I remember, I don't know if this is a true story or not, but I think they did some sort of study on it. and they had this guy like go into that like thinking of nothingness state, and like when they were reading, like taking like his brain readings, it appeared almost as if he was like brain dead. And they just like, and they like they like checked on him. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking of nothing."
So okay, so that's the opposite of the meditative state. It's very unactive, which is incredible.
Yes.
When you think about it, like the ability to just turn off much of your brain, because like when you're sleeping, your brain's incredibly active. Like like if you're having a dream, especially like those dreams are similar. Again, those dreams are similar to taking psychedelics, and those are powerful drugs, and it's showing it happen in their mind. Like it's insane that how much it's lighting up while they're dreaming, and then they're sleeping. Just sleeping in general, your brain's lighting up, but like brain dead. And you're just not thinking of anything, but they're awake, like they're not sleeping, which is incredible.
But I've also used it to help me sleep. And the times where I've done that, I had no dreams. I did not dream that night. That I
can't seem to remember my dreams.
It's not even, because usually you won't remember what you dreamed, but you know that you dreamed. But I know that there was no dream. It was just, I was thinking of nothing, trying to go to sleep, and then black, and then I wake up. No dream in between.
Interesting. I've never experienced that. I mean, sleeping is something I've tried a few times when I'm bored. I guess if I'm tired enough, like I'll take a nap.
Right.
But then it ruins later, because late at night I'm really bored and I can't go to sleep because I have to wait. And I'll have to go to sleep really fucking late, and that sucks too.
Right.
But yeah, no. That I can see that. That's interesting. I don't know. I try to do stuff when I'm bored. I try, we go out to eat or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just wish, I'm just waiting for things to open up. When I take classes, I know you're going to be working next semester, but I want to just, go out, go to classes, and talk to people. Meet new people, because I haven't met any new people. I mean, my roommate, of course I met Nick, and Nick's cool, but other than that,
haven't really met anyone.
No one new at all. I mean, my professors, that doesn't really count because those are all online. Online classes, that's another peak of boredom right there, right? Like, especially if it's something that you don't care about.
Yeah, which is pretty much the entirety of the first 2 years of college.
I found that for some classes it's like that. I mean, you'll kind of do that. And sometimes it feels really bad. I feel bad about it sometimes, because they'll be like, man, I know this teacher's like this, especially if the professor's really enthusiastic about it, but it's just something I don't care about, and I feel bad about like going mute and turning off my camera. I'll feel bad about doing that.
I mean, if it's a class that I straight up don't give a shit about, I know that this is not something that is going to impact me. There's nothing that I want to take away from this class, then I will feel no guilt about doing that.
It's not about that. It's like, okay, if they're not enthusiastic about it and they're not caring and they're like not a good professor, okay, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna have any problems with doing that. Especially if I have nothing to gain from it. However, if they're just trying to put an effort, they're trying to do something with this awful way of teaching. I think online teaching sucks. I don't think it works.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I hate online teaching.
Yeah, I don't think online teaching works. This just doesn't. You don't learn anything. And it sucks. Like, these kids going to classes, and then they're like, when are you going to open up the freaking schools for them? They're at the right age to start developing social ability. You're going to have a bunch of kids that don't know how to fucking talk to each other because they've been in online classes this whole time because people won't let them go to classes in person.
Right.
Like, what risk do they pose? What threat do they pose?
Right.
Like, if you're a teacher, you take a risk to do that, right? I think any teacher worth their salt would, but there's this whole thing. There's a lot to argue there. It's more than just simplicity, and I think.
Yeah.
But regardless, online classes just don't work. But if they're really trying to put their effort in, but it's something I don't care about, I feel bad about doing it because they're trying to have fun with it too. They're trying to not have it be awful. It's their job, and they have to do it every day.
Yeah, they're trying to engage a class that doesn't want to be engaged.
So I feel bad
Yeah, I can see that.
in that regard, at least.
Yeah.
It's just it can just be real frustrating.
Right. So, you said that you normally, when you get bored, you try to get out of the apartment and do something.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really expand my mind out that far. I try and think of things to alleviate that boredom that's already within the apartment.
Yeah.
So I'll try out like a new video game, or I'll watch a movie that I haven't watched before.
Yeah.
Like I just came back from visiting my parents and I brought back a puzzle to do.
Yeah, we started working on that puzzle.
Yeah.
I gave up. It's pretty hard.
It's one of those puzzles that don't have a picture. It's just a solid color. And you have to, but it does have like unique pieces that you can like, that it's a little bit easier than just like one of the standard puzzles that have the same shape. And it's just a picture that tells the difference. But it's still very difficult.
Yeah, it is. No, it gets a little frustrating. It's kind of annoying, but
it's good.
But it's something to do.
It's something
I always try to bring things here too. I try to bring in food. It's like, hey, let's try some different foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Or let's play a game. I'm always trying to bring stuff into the apartment for us to do. Whether it's just stupid partying. I like the little parties we have. It's nice to sometimes maybe invite like my friend over or something like Brooks and have a cool party. But
yeah, just like spend some time in the living room, like play some board games, like a game of cards. Maybe watch something on the TV.
Yeah, watch a movie. It's always nice to watch the show. I mean, that's something that developed as a means of boredom. Huh?
Yeah, one of the best alleviations of boredom is to spend time with other people, I think.
Yeah, obviously. But one of the things I developed under boredom is a taste for film. I was never really into film, actually. I was just kind of like, watch something if it's entertaining. I couldn't really get into certain things, but whatever. It was purely entertainment. It wasn't like an experience. Oh wow, this is really deeper message. Or oh wow, I'm really appreciating the artistry of this film. It's kind of just I'm watching it. I fucking watched the Marvel movies. I watched all of those. That's what me and my friends went and did back home. But
yeah, that's what I did with my mom. Not the last summer, but the summer before that.
Yeah, and that's what I did as a form of entertainment. But I didn't like talk about. I didn't have a favorite movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, I like movies.
I still don't have a favorite movie.
And then I started getting into film and stuff, and I realized there's so many great films. There's so many interesting directors. Like I really like Charlie Kaufman. I think was as a director and a writer. John Malkovich, Adaptation, Synecdoche to New York, and of course my second favorite is a movie of all time is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I got into film that way.
Yeah, it's something new to try.
Something new to try. I got into it. And Rate Your Music's film charts. I love using those to find new movies. It helps me. It is very snobbish. Their film picks are very much snob picks. You're not going to find a silly buddy comedy or anything at the top, but you know, it helps finding movies.
Yeah. Just trying something new definitely helps. Like I tried out I started getting into D&D as a way to alleviate boredom, and that's been really exciting. It's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into all sorts of things. And I'm bored, I'll start watching a certain amount of it. The one thing I just always watch, I don't even know why, I don't even play Minecraft. I mean, I love Minecraft, I think Minecraft's an incredible game, but I watch copious amounts of Minecraft videos. I never use the knowledge from the videos. I never am like, oh wow, it's a really cool video. I'm just like absently-mindedly watching Minecraft videos because it's good. It just eats up your time. It's a good way. I just like, oh yeah, here's this stupid Minecraft UHC. It's not a good video. It's just I watch it. You know, it's not like Vsauce levels of entertainment. It's just, you know, it's kind of dull. Nothing really happens. But I don't know. It eats up my time, so I do it.
Yeah, one thing that I've been doing that really, really eats up time is watching Critical Role. That's a D&D series. It's got one season has like well over 100 videos, and each video is like 3 to 4 hours.
And yeah, I can see that. That does eat up your time.
Like, you're bored, you've got nothing to do, just pop on a video.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's 4 hours gone.
Yeah. No, for real. I mean, then I watch a lot of fan theory videos. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of stuff about, just like, oh, what does this film mean? And like, I mean, I hate to use this to form my own opinion because I don't. I form my own opinion first, and then I relatively try to talk about what I think about a film, and then I watch it, and then then I look at it and like, okay, this is what people think about it. But that also eats up my time. So YouTube's honestly, as much as I don't like Google and their evilness up at the top, when they're controlling this, I like YouTube. YouTube's really good, although Canada's enforcing some new law about on YouTube, on their YouTube.
Yeah.
Canadian YouTube is you can only watch content made by Canadian YouTubers. My friend messaged me about that. My friend from Canada. Some people on a server I'm talking to.
There's also YouTube trying to change their entire market towards kids, even though they already have a YouTube for kids.
Yeah. It's really annoying.
Yeah. So any YouTube channel that doesn't market towards kids is essentially just getting fucked.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, they've been fucking people over for a while. But I just think the idea of just all these videos at your fingertips, pretty much anything you could think of watching is on YouTube.
Yeah. You've probably got more video footage. You probably have more video time on YouTube than you have of the years left in your life, I would assume.
What do you mean? There's more videos?
There's more watch time on YouTube in total than there is the years left in your life.
Huh.
There's so much stuff on YouTube.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
You could just watch only YouTube, and you would not finish it by the time you're dead.
Oh, of course not! No, dude, there's literally so much. I think it would go past the heat death of the universe. I think at this point, yeah. I think I saw it was really funny. It was a meme remember when the meme that was really popular was the B movie script, but every time it says this, it turns it. Shows it. Yeah, there was one where it said, but one of the catches was, but every time every time the B movie, but every time it says B, it plays Toy Story, but every time the color green is on camera, it plays every video on YouTube ever made.
Yeah.
And I think the guy calculated it. Maybe it was, I think it might have been, honestly, I think it might have been MatPat. It might have been fucking game theory. He calculated it, and it would go past the heat death of the universe, I think.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's so much freaking content, or at least the death of Earth.
Because not only is it just every video on YouTube, it's also repeated every time the color green is shown of the movie Toy Story, which is repeated every time the word B is said in the B.
They calculated how long the whole thing was, and that definitely was past the heat death of the universe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I mean, even like the amount of watch time of every video on YouTube doesn't even compare to the amount of watch time when it comes to porn.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot of... Well, that's because there's so many porn websites. Because porn has been around much longer than YouTube, I'm pretty sure. The pornography industry just in general. And then, with the advent of the internet, I just think that just freaking ramped up that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it because of that. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, because YouTube's only been around
since 2006, right?
2006.
Or 2005, one of those. I think it's 2006.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, mid 2000s, and people have been uploading porn to the internet since the internet's fucking existed.
Yeah.
If a new medium comes out to present something, you guarantee there's gonna be porn in it. I guarantee you, as soon as the cameras started becoming a thing, people started taking pictures of people fucking, and I guarantee you when video started, the first thing people started doing after that became popular was videos of people fucking, movies, and then when the internet came around, the internet shows you ways to watch videos and consume content. Here's your fucking porn. That just,
right.
I think that says a lot about us,
There's so much shit out there.
There's so much. There's honestly way too much, but
there's so much to watch, so much to experience. I'm not even talking about just the porn anymore. You've got movies, you've got TV shows, you've got...
But there's so much that you feel overwhelmed. It's almost like when you go to a restaurant and yet, there's a huge menu.
Yeah, and yet, there was still boredom.
Yeah, I know there's a million things I could go do. I can go on the internet. I guarantee you, I can list off 20 things I could go do on the internet. And that doesn't even include
there's so many things to do, but are they things that you're actually going to do?
Well, I guarantee I could do one of them and not be bored. It feels almost overwhelming. There's so many things to choose from. It's like you almost get this idea. It's like, I don't know. It's the same way I feel like when I talk about animation. It's like animation's a limitless medium, so you can do whatever you want. So when I see someone produce something in the animation department, and it's really good and it impresses me even a second time because you have so much to work with. You can work with pretty much whatever you want. And I think it applies to going on the internet. It's like, what do I fucking do? There's so much. I could go watch movies. I could go play video games. I could go watch YouTube. I could go write. I can do so many different things, right?
Yeah, and I think a really big help is having filters to narrow down your search to specific things.
Yeah.
You've got different movie genres. You've got different subcategories within those genres.
I mean, that's why I use rating music. To find albums, I can just search up a genre and a year, all time, either one, and I can find, here's an album I can go listen to if it's into this genre. I've been meaning to listen to this one, so let me go listen to it. Or, for movies as well, I'll do the same thing. I'm actually with my friend, I'm going to go watch all the surreal movies, top 40 in the surrealism genre.
Top 40?
Yeah, the top 40 surrealism.
Interesting.
Hey, can you guess what number 1 is?
What is number 1?
Would you believe that it's the end of Evangelion? It is. Of course it is. I mean, it's my favorite. It's my favorite movie, but It's the #1 surrealism movie. But yeah. So that's just how the internet affects me when I'm bored. Yeah. Well, I think we said quite a bit. All right, guys. Tune in next time when I interview our next guest and cover a new topic.